Hey y'all, what's up? All right, it's gonna be just a couple more minutes. Just getting the studio set up here today. We got a lot to talk about. Don't forget to like and share the stream. Let's keep vibing for a little bit, and I'll be right back. You all. What's up, everyone? We're going to play one more song, and then we're going to get started here. Hope you guys are doing well on this amazing Wednesday. Just getting the studio locked in, getting the alpha sorted here, getting all the pages refreshed. What's up, everyone? Feel free to comment in the live stream here if you're here. Feel free to drop a comment button on the bottom right if you are live here on the spaces as well. Kick it, y'all. Okay. Just make sure the audio's up. For some reason, I don't hear it. So let me remove it really quick. Try it again. Also, yesterday I noticed that my mic, your browser has blocked your screen. Wait, what? Hold on. Your browser blocked your screen. Okay, well, we need to allow that because there's no reason for it not to be allowed. All right, that should be good to go. Let's refresh the screen. All right, I know there was some technical difficulty on that. Refresh the screen and let's get the show on the road. I grabbed my water already. We're good to go. And if you guys saw the marketing post, we have a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about technical analysis, of course, the HBAR foundation stuff as well. Something weird going on with the can I change? I don't know why it's not showing my PFP. So when I take this off, does it not show? So on my mobile, it shows it, but on desktop, it doesn't. I don't know how to change that. That's very odd. Is there anything I could do to change that? Very strange. Well, we're live nonetheless. So let me share the screen and then we're going to get the show started here. Let's see if you guys can hear.
Y'all don't really know my mental. Let me give you the
There
picture.
you go.
She say that I'm cool. I'm like, yeah, that's true. I believe in G-O-D. Don't believe in T-H-O-T. She keep playing me dumb. I'm a player for fun. Y'all don't really know my mental. Let me give you the picture like stencil. Falling out in a drought. No flow rain was I'm pouring down. See that pain was all around. See my mode was kinda lounge. Didn't know which way to turn. Flow was cool, but I still felt burned. Energy up, you can feel my surge. I'ma kill everything like this purge. Let's just get this straight for a second. I'ma work, even if I don't get paid for progression. I'ma get it. Everything that I do is electric. I'ma keep it in motion, keep it moving like kinetic. Put this shit in the frame. Better know I don't blame everything that I say. Man, I seen you deflate. Let me elevate this in a prank. Have you walking on a plane? Both hands together, God, let me pray. I've been going right around, call that relay. Pass the baton, back in the mall, swimming in the pool, can't drink them all. Want a piece of this, a piece of mine, my piece of sign. Can you please read between the lines? My rhymes inclined to break your spine. They say that I'm so fine. You could never match my grind. Please do not waste my time. What you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion. Yeah, I feel like an astronaut in the ocean. Ay, what you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion. Yeah, I feel like an astronaut in the ocean.
Welcome back to this US.
All right, let's get the show started. Let's pull up CoinMarketCap. Let's share our screen. Again, I don't know why my PFP is not showing on desktop. Hopefully it's showing on mobile. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty annoying because you guys won't be able to see the PFP. Right, let me get CoinMarketCap going. Let me see. I guess you're going to see double astronauts. If you guys are in the live stream, I'm about to remove the mobile speaker. Let me know now. I'm about to turn it off. So you're going to see one of the astronauts drop off the screen. If you're in the live stream, I'd appreciate if you guys let me know if the audio drops in like 3 seconds. I'm about to add it back in a little bit, but let me know if it drops in like 3 seconds, all right? Bubble. I'm only talking to those of you guys in the space. So not sure what's going on with that, but yeah, if you guys are on desktop, I guess you can't see my PFP. So what's going on with that. But if you're on mobile, I guess you can see it. Very strange. Well, welcome everyone to the Web4 Roundtable. Nonetheless, episode 246. Man, these episodes have been absolutely just flying by. It feels like yesterday it was episode 245. No pun intended. 245 is pinned on my main account. So if you guys go back, if you missed, of course, these are all recorded as well. So if you have any alpha you want to share, any alpha you missed as well, of course, you can go back and listen to the show as well. All right. Let's see what we're cooking with here. I'm also going to start bringing up some speakers as well. So if you want to come up to speak, hit that button on the bottom left if you'd like to come up to speak on the spaces. And then, of course, if you are in the live stream side of things and you want to come up to speak, just shoot me a DM. I'll be checking my DMs as the to come up as a speaker. So you guys are good to go if you're in the alpha chat there. And of course, just shoot me a DM if you want to come up as well. I'll be checking my DMs as the show goes on. And then friendly reminder as well, we are live streaming on YouTube. So let me throw up the main account once again here on X. If you guys aren't following me already, feel free to shoot me a follow. Here is the link to tune in live on YouTube as well. So let me just pull it up, do a friendly little shill there. And then also here's something that I am going to be doing a little bit more now as we get closer to revealing some alpha, some launch details on Cosmonodes. I'm going to start changing like the PF piece and yeah, just the overall brand logos to various astronauts in the actual collection. This is a piece that is in the collection. I think this is serial 35. So if you vibe with the art, of course, just stay tuned with what we've got going on. But of course, this is our YouTube channel. So we are currently live. You can see here on YouTube as well. And they are recorded on YouTube. So if you missed any of the latest episodes, of course, you can go back and listen to the latest episodes here as well. You can see a bunch of you guys. Some days, a bunch of you guys tune in. Not sure what the difference is there, but shout out to everyone that has been super active and tuning in every single day, staying up to date with the latest alpha. And of course, we have YouTube shorts as well. So if you want to jump up on some of the latest alpha from some of our shows, of course, you can go to our YouTube channel and make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. Shout out to everyone that's subscribed. Shout out to everyone that's supporting our show as well. Liking and retweeting goes a very far way. And of course, if you guys are using that HBark new use case on Hedera, feel free to throw some HBark our way to the show. I really appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna start bringing some people up. Postmaster, I saw you requested. How you doing, brother? I hope you're doing well.
Hi, man. Doing great. Sorry, my button wasn't working there for a second. So I feel your technology pains, but I'm doing great, man. I'm sorry for my triple session yesterday and my run today, but I'm gonna get some dinner in me in a minute here, refuel, and get at it again, man. Let's fucking go.
Awesome, brother. Yeah, there's always some form of a technical issue, depending on the day. But I know you've been training and getting after it. I hope that's been going well for you. So how many days? I'm sure you're counting the days at this point, coming up on your fight, brother.
Like 40 something days, 40 days.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, I'm very much excited.
my eye on being better every day and feeling better, eating better, running faster, running harder. Yeah, just it is what it's the journey. I know I got a really tough opponent ahead of me, so I'm just trying to train like a champion would and take all the time that I need to focus on myself. I know that martial arts is a very selfish sport. You have to be time has to be spent doing this stuff, because if not, you're gonna have a lot of trouble in there. And I don't want to make a fool of myself, so I'm up every day just thinking about ways to improve myself physically, mentally, and so yeah, that's it. That's it right now. Everything else is on hold. Just training, and training my mind, training my spirit, training myself physically, and yeah, connecting with people on spaces. That's about it.
Yeah, brother, that's definitely the way to go. I hope your training definitely pays off. I know your opponent's going to be a challenge for sure, but I think hopefully not a challenge too great for the postmaster, and we see a really strong win come out from your corner, brother.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I feel like I can beat this guy, or else I definitely wouldn't have signed the contract. And this is like I feel like one of my like my last second chance. I was actually a really good fighter, and I just had like just some shit happen in my life that made me kind of pull away from martial arts a little bit, and uh, I was able to work through all that and start training, and then karate combat kind of came out of nowhere and just ignited the fire underneath me. And I said, I got to be a part of this. I gotta get in that pit one way or another. And just the relationships have led from obviously one thing to another. Now we're building an NFT project for karate combat fighters, and this is all just kind of a part of the roadmap. You got to do what you love doing. People say it. I know it's cliche, but people say it all the time. Just got to wake up and do what you really love doing, and hopefully in the end it pays off for you. So a big win would be great for me here. A nice mint out for all the fighters would be even more amazing while we lead up to the fight. And then, on to Consensus 2025 in Toronto. We'll have another big event, and I'll take on somebody tougher, and hopefully we'll say, let's make this an IFC title fight, because nobody's taking out the postman. Let's go.
Let's go, brother. Well, I'm excited for you nonetheless, and yeah, I mean, you have a massive, arguably a massive group of people that are going to be your big supporters, and yeah, I mean, as long as I'm there, I'll be live streaming it. I guess we'll live stream it regardless, especially since you're there. But it'd be pretty incredible to see you to catch you in action live in person. I think that'd be absolutely insane. So I can't wait for it. I think a lot of the community here is really looking forward to the next event. So it's the event. Just correct me here. It's on October 9th, correct?
9th, 10th, and 11th. The fight.
Okay.
Anybody will be able to pick up tickets on the website probably in the next 3 weeks or so. I'd say probably a little closer to the fight. But yeah, get your tickets for permissionless. If you're a developer, you can get free tickets for that right now. If you're a student, it's cheap, like $99. Floor passes are like $600. So I don't know. Yeah, just jump on a team and get some tickets for everybody for permissionless, so that you can get into karate combat easy. I'm not sure if they're going to actually give away free tickets this event or not for general admission, but good to have the itinerary ready to go. And permissionless, again, a big crypto conference. Really good to pitch your ideas and your projects and connect with like-minded people. So get ready to go, people.
Yeah, brother.
What these barbarians can do.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely tear it up over there, and yeah, we gotta see how many people are showing up. So if you guys are planning on heading out, we'll probably have to start connecting with a bunch of people, seeing who's actually going to show up. I know we have some time still, but as we get closer, about a month out, I think we're gonna have to start bringing a lot more people together. I'm very excited for it. I'm sure that Karate Combat Alpha Chat will be popping off as well closer we get to it.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I think there's going to be a big Brett Gold B&B, so maybe we can make it a H-bar Brett Gold B&B, like get a giant mansion like we did down in Nashville. It was an awesome experience hanging out with everybody at one big place. We got a place with like a hot tub and a little mini pool. That was pretty cool.
That's awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure the whole community here is looking forward to it. Do you have any other alpha or anything else you'd like to share before I jump into some of the topics here today, brother?
I think there's going to drop really soon. We are we're cooking up those NFTs and should have the alpha on the launch date and everything very, very soon. And yeah, that'll be it. And I think tomorrow, guys, tune into the IFC's X Spaces, because I think we're officially gonna announce to the world the post versus hex. You guys got a little bit of a jump start on it being in my little clique and my little gang, but they're officially gonna announce all the fights tomorrow with the posters, and yeah, so we're ready to go, man. We're ready to go. Represent H-Bar. We got a big shout out to a few of my sponsors, G-Coin, H-Suite, Hunger Fighters, guys. If you guys aren't supporting Hunger Fighters, you're probably not a true H-Barbarian. So make sure you guys are picking up some of those NFTs for their big event in December. Yeah, man, let's go. Let's go. Of course, Stick Bug. Yo, I love me some Stick Bug. We're doing big things. We're just about to go cross-chain with Hashport. We've got a proof with Hashport. We're going to move some liquidity around and bada boom, bada bing. We're going to go cross-chain.
Well, you love to hear it. Yeah, brother, I'm stoked for what you got, where you've been cooking. You've been here for quite some time now. Yeah, I mean, you've been a big supporter of the space, supporter of me, and pretty much everyone I've seen so far in the space. So I'm glad to see more and more sponsors for what you've got going on over there. And yeah, October 11th couldn't come soon enough. Well, I appreciate you coming up today, brother. We are going to jump into some of the topics here. So if you guys are on the live stream, you're going to be able to see that post there. Hedera Governing Council minutes. I'm going to touch a little about Thrive. I do want to talk about it a little bit as well. We do have another interview. I have not talked about who it is yet. It's a teaser. I'll give you guys a teaser for them later towards the end of the episode, so you want to stick around for that. Then, of course, your daily H-bar and Bitcoin technical analysis and charting. So if you're interested in any of that, make sure to stay tuned throughout the show. Got a lot of alpha to unpack. It's going to be another banger episode. Welcome, y'all, if you're just tuning in. Episode 246 here at the Web4 Roundtable. Don't forget to like and retweet the show. It's the best way to support what we are doing here today. So the first thing we are going to jump into is the Hedera Governing Council minutes. But before I do that, it's going to be a little bit to really get through and talk about. So I'm going to grab some more water and I will be right back. All right, you guys, get rocking and rolling here. Hedera Governing Council minutes. So last night, right when I was going to bed, literally 3 minutes before I was getting off my phone, I saw the Governing Council minutes go out. I didn't make a post or anything. I really wanted to just kind of highlight it here in the show. So if you're excited about it, you want more H-Barbarians to be aware of it, again, don't forget to like and retweet the show. It only takes a couple seconds to do that. Again, massive shout out to everyone that has been supporting our show and showing up every single day. All right, July 10th. This was last month's meeting minutes. You can see all of the governing council members that did attend. You can also see how many did not attend. So what is that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. How many governing council members are there? Like 20, 30, 30 something, like 30, somewhere around there. And then we just had what DBS drop off, so I don't even know why they're still on there. But regardless, that's about 50 to 60% attendance rate, which I think the average is 60 to 70 or 80%. It's in that range. So this is about on the lower end of the average amount of governing council members tuning in. My personal view is if they are truly subsidizing every single we don't know for sure, and that's the question I'm very curious about. Are they paying the people to sign and then be part of the governing council, whoever's involved, these people on here, right? You can see, for instance, Nomura, whoever this Akira Iwasaki is, right? Like hypothetically, let's just say Nomura decide not to show up next month or whenever they meet, right? Are they still paid? Are they not paid? What does that look like? Like, it doesn't really make sense for these companies to still get paid if they're not showing up, that kind of stuff. So very interesting, especially, and then I'd add it further. I don't think that there should be any pay or like very small amount if there's no use case built either yet, right? I think Atma is going to be a very specific outlier as well. I think that's fine in some capacity, but even Rob Allen, right? You guys all probably are familiar with Rob Allen at this point, Australian Payments Plus. I don't know. I have no idea how much he's paid, if he's paid. What does that look like every meeting? But those are some questions. Ideally, we do find out more and more as well. So we do have Skelly Bets over here on the live stream. What's good, brother? Before we continue on through the governing council meeting minutes, it is something very fascinating because if they are paid, I think that that's probably not a really good use of the HRs here in our ecosystem. I think only the council members that are actually building on the network, but then also, why wouldn't they just buy the HBARs themselves? And there's more conversations to be had amongst all that as well. But arguably and ideally, we do have the governing council members that are involved and super active here, paying for the network as well. That would be the big shift that I've been talking about for some time. That would be a massive shift for Hedera. We've gone to where we've gone. We've gone up to the top 20 recently, even if we're in the top 40 right now. We've gotten to where we've gone basically without anything major happening outside of the RCAX BlackRock tokenization, which I know some people, I'll touch on this a little bit later too. Some people were in my comments on some posts saying like, oh, it was fake and Shane deleted the tweet or whatever. Well, Hedera has their tweet up. RCAX has their tweet up. The foundation has their tweet up. And pretty much everyone else that covered any of the news still have all their tweets up. It was something that actually happened. If Shane deleted his tweet, I don't actually know what reasoning apart from people maybe saying, hey, maybe he dumped his HBARs or whatever, right? I don't know why. I'm not going to sit here and say I know why. But the fact of the matter is that tokens were tokenized by RCAX and BlackRock did sign off on it. Like that is the facts at the end of the day. Not sure where there's controversy or confusion about that. If there is, I don't really see any. I don't think there's nothing to be confused about. But again, that's a personal thing, I guess. If you are confused about it, it's pretty clear and pretty straightforward, arguably, and from what I'm reading personally. And all the posts are still up besides Shane. So if you want to go after Shane or his post, whatever, I don't really care about that. But all the other posts from everyone else are still up. Everything's still there. The articles are all there. There was a space about it. Like, everything's there. I'm not going to harp on it too much. I just don't know why people keep bringing up that Shane deleted his when all the other ones are still up, like saying that it was fake news or something. The Cointelegraph and what do you call it? The crypto news one or whatever. There was a couple CoinDesk. Some of them, they were reporting that it was fake. And maybe the way that it was worded, right, with, oh, BlackRock tokenized funds or whatever. Okay, well, BlackRock tokenized funds through RCAX, which RCAX tokenized the funds through Hedera. So technically it is what happened, even if there was some semantical wordplay there. It still happened at the end of the day. So again, not sure what the confusion is there. Let's get into the Hedera Governing Council minutes. Skelly Bets, what's up, brother? We are going to talk about Skelly Bets a little bit later into the show as well. Shout out to them as well. All right. So I'm not going to cover this because it literally just says none across the board. Not sure why it says none, because I think there were some pretty good decisions made through this last event Here, give me a second. I need to plug in my phone as well. For those of you guys in the space, Postmaster, if you can still hear me, is the audio still good? I just plugged in my phone. Looks like the battery's a bit low. Perfect. Appreciate it. All right, let's get into the governing council minutes. Again, if you guys are just tuning in here today, if you are on the spaces side of things and you do not plan on speaking today, feel free to jump up on the live stream side of things. I'm about to pin it to the Jumbotron, so you guys can follow along with me on the live stream side of things. Then, of course, if you're on the live stream, you don't gotta do nothing. If you wanna, if you just want to jump up and like and retweet the show, that sounds great as well. Skelly Bets on the live stream said, I think it's just the wording that got people mad, honestly, because it sounded like BlackRock tokenized everything with Hedera, and it made it sound really big. Yeah, I think some people were confused about that. For here, I'll leave your post up there so people can read it. I agree with that, and I think some people just have their bag bias as well, right? Other chains are super jealous that they weren't chosen, and I've been saying this for some time. Hedera is part of a lot of the conversations that a lot of people that matter, arguably. And when we start to see other chains not in some of those conversations, people start to have some realization, open their eyes like, oh, okay, so Hedera is kind of a big dog. Hedera kind of matters compared to some of their chains that they thought was going to be a tokenized use case and so on. So sure, you can have CoinDesk and Cointelegraph, whatever, just kind of really harping on, hey, like, we don't really have much to cover and we don't want to like promote Hedera too strongly. All we're going to do is find whatever nuance we can and just kind of run with that. And that's basically what happened, right? A lot of people run with negativity. Anytime there's negativity or drama, that really blows up and gets more exposure. So yeah, it's like, oh, well, Hedera Foundation said it was BlackRock specifically, but it was actually Arcax. And at the end of the day, funds from BlackRock were still tokenized. And just seeing that and saying that they were lying and saying it was misinformation, all that kind of stuff, like those are just trigger words at the end of the day for more exposure. And ultimately, arguably, Hedera did get a lot more exposure due to that time as well. I see Hedera from Skelly Bets as well posted, Tron paid people to start promoting the chain, and it worked pretty well. Do you think Hedera should use this as well? This is something, and we'll get into the Thrive. Let me just throw the post up here really quick. Hedera, I'll drop your post down here. So as I said before, we are going to cover the governing council minutes. We're going to cover Thrive updates as well. So we have covered Thrive a couple times on the show, but there's something I really do want to unpack and just kind of lay it out flat with you guys if you haven't integrated yet, because they haven't, let's be blunt here as well, they haven't integrated Hedera wallets yet. And I mean, I guess regardless if the foundation's listening to the show, like that's just a massive oversight. There's being super blunt here, not really an excuse for it. Almost no one in our ecosystem uses MetaMask. Maybe it's a standard on some other, on ETH or whatever, but we're not Ethereum. Right, like everyone here uses Hashpack or Kabila, Alanis, whatever. Right, whatever's using what is it called, Wallet Connect, Hash Connect, that kind of stuff. That's just what happens. And pretty much what they were saying when they were in their space on Monday or Tuesday, they were just saying, hey, like we didn't realize it would be affected that much. Where like basically no one's submitted any contributions, and so I'm going to talk a little bit more about that a little bit later. But on what Hedera just said. Should they be basically paying people, right? So foundation having this initiative to basically reward people for various contributions. I want to unpack that a little bit later. So again, stick around a little bit later for the show. And then we're also going to reveal our next interview coming up tomorrow as well, towards the end of the show. So stick around, and we're also going to do some technical analysis. So great questions, y'all. Keep them coming. But first, we are going to give an overview of the governing council minutes as well. And every time that we have governing council minutes, it'll most likely be within 1 or 2 episodes of when they are released, unless we have a interview during that day or something, right? So I'm just gonna kind of skim some of this here. None of this was like crazy important here. Just Brett McDowell, he's just basically starting the meeting. Vanessa providing an update here. So the next one of the next in-person council meetings is actually going to be in Miami, Florida in Q4 2024, and just basically told the council members to register for that meeting. So I'm very curious who's going to show up in the US, because not every single governing council member is US based, and they're going to be showing up in Miami, Florida, Q4 of 2024, and then Vanessa is the manager of committee operations. So the meeting looks like the meeting started at this point. Looks like Tom Sylvester, he's the general counsel and secretary. He just reviewed the prior meeting minutes from the council meetings held in April, May, and June. And then also he shared a e-ballot with council members to review and approve the outstanding minutes. So nothing too crazy is going on outside of maybe some prior reviews, and then of course when they are going to meet next in person as well. Because this was a virtual meeting, which is even worse to me. If you're not showing up at the virtual meetings, like that's really tough. Like I get it. Like it's a little bit harder to do the in-person ones at some points. So I'm curious as well with some of the statistics. Is there more attendance with the virtual, or is there more attendance with the in-person meetings? That's something very interesting, and I got to go run some stats and see what's going on over there. But very fascinating. I wonder what's more beneficial. So a lot more of the meat and potatoes is going to be the rest of the minutes here. So I'm going to be a little bit more exhaustive on what's going on here. All right, Rob Allen, Cy here. Let's see what they're talking about with the Corporate Utilization Committee, CorpCom, also known as CorpCom. All right, shared information. So here's the big one. I think there's probably about 3 to 5 big points that I'm going to highlight. This is the first one. Basically, they shared information from the DeFi Alliance regarding the decentralized finance market. I'm going to repeat that. The DeFi Alliance here, I believe, is Saucer Swap. I think, oh my gosh, I'm going to butcher this. Head Starter, and I'm blanking on the other one. My bad. My apologies. I forget who's on the third one. But there's like 3 groups here in Hedera that form the DeFi Alliance. Last I checked, if there's some other DeFi Alliance I'm not up to date on, then that's my bad. DeFi Alliance shared information regarding DeFi, right? Our DeFi markets here. So Saucer Swap would be basically given some alpha there as well. Before I continue, I see Skelly but saying, I feel like there's more in-person meeting attendance than virtual. Nobody's trying to run these Zoom calls again. Hashtag COVID trauma. Yeah, I would bet as well that some of the in-person ones would probably have more attendance, but I don't know the facts. I'm just speculating at this point. But we'll have to see how that Miami meeting goes. All right, so DeFi. Let's see what aspects were talked about. So Cy and Rob Allen, you guys familiar with him on the HBAR Bull show. Shout out to HBAR Bull. Identified key DeFi ecosystem assets such as exchanges, right? Saucer Swap, H-Suite, HeliSwap, Pangolin, all these exchanges on Hedera and so on. Liquidity pools, bridges like Hashport, right? Oracles, insurance and institutional custodians. We have that Copper one that just went live with the HBAR Foundation recently as well. I know some people still want to talk poorly about the HBAR Foundation, but the foundation has been setting up quite a bit of connections and, no pun intended, but foundations for various aspects like in our DeFi space as well. So institutional custodians and the Hedera network status with respect to each CorpCom, right? Corporate Utilization Committee. Second, CorpCom continues to work with TechCom to identify product roadmap changes and overcome barriers to network utilization. Overcoming barriers to network utilization in relation to the decentralized finance market. This is music to my ears. This is very important. I have no idea where they are on that, what that conversation sounded like, what it looked like, but this is very good. This is very important for these kinds of conversations to be had, especially when the future of our network, a lot of it is going to be contingent on where the state of DeFi is going to really take us at the end of the day. So very fascinating, very important conversations, and they're being had during these governing council meetings as reflected here in these minutes. So here's one of the biggest points. You want to go back and read it, just type in Hedera Governing Council minutes, and you'll be able to see the main website pop up. All right. Now we're on to Charles Adkins. Charles discussed current outreach efforts to connect one-on-one. So this is the second big point with each governing council member. He's going to be connecting one-on-one with each council member to discuss their participation with the Hedera network and identify any gaps in support. Charles will address specific changes to engagement and offer tailored solutions to each member. All right, as I said in the beginning of the show, Let's scroll up here. All of these members are absent. I don't want to make excuses, whatever, right? But if I don't really know how any of this works thoroughly, but let's look at Dell, for instance. Again, I'm not singling any out on purpose. Just for example, we have David Frattura. Okay, if David Frattura can't make it to the meeting for some reason, right, representing Dell, is there no one else that can represent the meeting? Is it really just going to be contingent on one person? Looks like a lot of these companies actually only has one person represented. I'm not sure what that's all about. I'm not sure if that's a pain point here that needs to be changed, that kind of stuff. Should there not be a team for this, for Web3 integration? It is concerning for sure. If there's only one person, maybe this is like the head of the team or something. I don't know. But I don't know if there's a really good excuse if these companies are serious about building in Web3, building on Hedera in particular, if they're just going to be missing meetings, which against a lot of these like Hitachi, Google, Wipro, Zane, some of these almost DLA Piper, they meet almost every single time. I'm not really talking about those, but the few that basically never go to meetings, okay, maybe they just shouldn't be on the council in general, right? Yeah, maybe it's padding the way that the council looks, but I think we're at a point where it doesn't matter what the council looks like. What matters at this point is the marketing, the way that they're investing in the council. Are they building on the council, building in Hedera? I think that I don't care if Google's in it. I don't care who's on it, really. I care which companies are choosing to build on Hedera. Are they building on Hedera? Are they advancing? Are they showing up to meetings? That kind of stuff. So very, very important conversation to be had. And I'm sure Charles, with this outreach effort currently right here, tailored to each member, I'm sure he's going to have his hands full, because with the 60 to 80% attendance rate, there's a good 20 to 40% of the council members that do not show up for every single meeting. And that's a lot of tailoring. And guess what? Some of those tailored solutions, if they don't work, maybe they will take more drastic decisions, and maybe they won't be on the council much longer. And then guess what? Maybe we'll have other council members come on. So this is the second point, basically tailoring solutions to each member. It's a big shift for the governing council, because it sounds like a lot of us just kind of show up, maybe participate, that kind of stuff. But now, if it is going to be like, hey, like, okay, we're aiming towards that 100% engagement rate, 100% attendance, interaction, that kind of stuff. This is big. So, President Outreach Campaign. This is point 2. Shout out to Charles Atkins. Again, he has a lot on his plate for sure, but a lot of good. He does his job well enough. I do believe this ecosystem will thrive that much better. So, yeah, I mean, I'm hoping for the best with Charles. All right. Last time we covered the governing council minutes, this Force for Good working group was in the earliest creation phases back in like May. So it looks like Pradeep Iyer, he's the director. I'm not sure the director of what though. Discussed the Force for Good working group that the council members agreed to form at the May meeting in New York. The group has been meeting to discuss pain points expressed by charities and philanthropic organizations that can be solved by distributed ledger technology, Hedera. Pradeep thanked group participants for the enthusiasm and encouraged interested council members to join. So this is still in the works, still under development. I'm very curious what's going to come out of this working group. So this is the point number 3 that I wanted to touch on as well. More working groups being discussed and created, which leads actually into probably the biggest point of the whole entire governing council meeting. There's a couple aspects I think are as big, if not bigger, like what Charles is having to do, and of course the beginning with the DeFi conversation. So DeFi conversations, right? You're just tuning in. Charles, tailoring solutions, another working group, Force for Good, for charities and philanthropic organizations. So here's the kicker. Here's the big one. Here's what gets me very, very excited on what the future of this council is going to look like, especially with these working groups. All right, so Kate Ball, Director of Legal Operations and Senior Counsel, she talks about the formation of an AI governance working group. I'll repeat that. AI governance working group from the governing council, following up on specific suggestions by a breakout in the May council meeting in New York. Oh, okay, so they must have met up in New York on that one. I must have missed that. All right, so there were breakout sessions, it looks like, and AI is the topic of that conversation earlier this year in Q2. The newly formed group will discuss AI-related use cases product ideas and Hedera improvement proposals related to AI. So Hedera HIPs related to AI use cases and product details is going to be the focus of that. Super exciting. AI is one of the biggest aspects moving forward in Web3 that we really got to tackle here, and Hedera definitely needs to be at the front in a lot of those conversations as well. So, setting expectations with individuals joining both the Force for Good and AI governance working groups. Brett proposed a general operating structure for working groups. The council members agreed that working groups are informal discussion groups that exist purely for the benefit of the participants, providing them with a forum to discuss use cases around a specific topic with no authority from or responsibility to the council. So the Hedera president can form a working group and is responsible for providing adequate staffing, resources, and announcing a call for participation to all council members. Any Hedera director, council member, or invited experts with an appropriate NDA is eligible to attend. The group will choose a chair at the first meeting, and the chair will be tasked with guiding the discussion. Council members interested in joining should contact Vanessa. All right, here's towards the end. I believe this is the last like 2 sections of points. So that was section 4. So AI working group as well, and how they're going to start running some of these breakout sessions, because the governing council, here's something that's really interesting as well that a lot of people don't really realize. The governing council, I guess, doesn't have to benefit the governing council in and of itself. A lot of what they're doing is in some capacity benefiting themselves on the conversations that are being had. And I guess in some capacity that still moves Hedera forward, because the bigger the use cases are building on Hedera, perhaps it'll attract further institutional interest. But ideally, these working groups are working together as various companies to actually push the network forward as a whole, especially when these HIPs, right? It said, where was it at again? Where was it? Right here at the top. Use case of product ideas and HIPs related to AI. So as long as they're creating HIPs, at the end of the day, it's going to trickle down to all of us, and any developers here are going to be able to use HIP 1000, HIP 115, whatever random number. You guys know how it goes with the numbers here on the HIPs. As long as the HIPs are created by the governing council and formulated by these developers, and it trickles down to retail, that's how we continue to win. That's how we continue to grow as an ecosystem, and that's incredible. So AI philanthropic working groups as well is going to be a massive win, I believe, for our ecosystem as well. So we have Simon Olson coming up on the end of the governing council minutes here. We got the membership committee update. He reminded the council members that MemCom is working towards its objective to fill the council with 39 highly engaged and contributing members. Council members who wish to recommend prospective members should contact MemCom's co-chairs, Simon and Bill, for educational materials and assistance. So it looks like they are still working towards 39 highly engaged and contributing members. I personally believe that it does start with having every single person that does come on board, or not just person, but organization, company, that they are highly engaged and contributing, which means that they probably should remove some of the groups if they are not serious about integrating. Or it's not even about being serious. I think it's just, is the company ready or willing to be educated? Is it even a need? I don't think some of the companies maybe even need. I don't want to focus too much on Ubisoft, but we've already seen it's so tough to actually have a successful game almost in any capacity. Gaming is probably one of the hardest verticals to actually integrate Web3, and I think gambling games and that kind of stuff is a little bit different, which we're going to talk about towards the end of the show here. But when we're talking about games like Ubisoft type of stuff, it is tough, and that's why we haven't really seen any success from any major gaming companies yet in the Web3 side of things. But I do believe we're near a turning point on that. We're going to start seeing some more integration. So hopefully Ubisoft sticks around and we can get them involved and engaged. But if we do need to start changing that and pruning some members, bringing out some more highly engaged and contributing members, I think the council will be better for that. And it'll probably be easier, honestly, to actually onboard people. Because if we have members just sticking around and they're not onboarding anyone themselves, well, that's more like, I don't want to say dead weight, they can still use them for marketing and engagement, I guess. But you guys get what I mean. I hope we do need more and more engagement and builders essentially on the network. We don't want people just representing the network for basically no reason outside of marketing or exposure, I guess. Ideally, they are moving the network forward. So that's just my personal take. All right. I have not covered a council meeting minutes yet that I remember that Lehman was actually in it and having a conversation. So here's Lehman. It's very refreshing to actually talk about something that Lehman's doing. And if you guys are here in our show on Monday, I talked about if not Lehman, then who? I made a post about it. If Lehman isn't the one bull posting, making posts from Hedera from his own account, even or Mance or whoever, right? You could talk about some other people here. Who is going to be the person that Hedera rallies around or looks at? And arguably the answer is Charles. And I tagged him at the bottom just saying, like, is it Charles? And then a bunch of people said, yeah, it's probably Charles or always Lehman, whatever. But who's going to be bull posting like every day or hosting conversations every week or once a week, whatever, right? You compare it to Charles Hodgkinson from Cardano. A lot of the reason why that the token did what it did and created such mass appeal and attraction was because there was someone that they could look to. There was a lot of marketing for it, regardless of what truth was told or whatever. It's something very interesting and very specific that people were able to look to. And ideally, it is Lehman, but Lehman's also super smart and he's super busy on things that he's working on. And I don't think it's necessarily his role to be bull posting or writing up X posts or threads or whatever. Like I'm sure he is more than capable of doing that. But maybe it isn't his role. Maybe it is Charles. But Charles seems to be super busy too. So who is going to be tweeting and get garnering that public, if you want to say, retail exposure? Because it seems like the foundation, the DLT Science Foundation, the Hashgraph Association, the governing council in some capacity, they're doing what they can. I think they're doing a pretty good job. Obviously, there can always be improvements, which we're covering here. But if enterprise is covered in a large way, okay, well, we need to cover retail then. And what is that going to look like? So hopefully, as we continue to have these conversations and discussions and like stuff like Thrive Hedera can turn out well. Yeah, I mean, we just need more and more retail support, more and more retail exposure, engagement, insights, that kind of stuff, right? So let's hear from Lehman, see what he's got cooking up here on the governing council. So this will pretty much be the last main point here. Dr. Lehman Baird discussed a collaborative effort between the Technical Steering and Product Committee and the Government Affairs Committee to proactively identify and change terminology used to describe DLT that can be misconstrued in different circumstances. So basically, let me just skim this really quick. So he talks about using consensus nodes instead of validator nodes to process transactions. And then rather than validate, basically instead of using validate, use consensus. And then the term transaction has a weighted meaning in the financial and legal context. So a transaction on Hedera is an operation formed by a computer, not a financial transaction. So very interesting to have distinctions there. Lehman really wants to just kind of make sure the governing council is above board on the legal side of things as well. Hedera will engage with other. This is really massive, actually. And why I said, like, he doesn't necessarily need to be tweeting. He's doing a lot on the cross-chain collaborative side of things. Hedera will engage with other layer one protocols to standardize this terminology in order to minimize confusion with global policy makers. So again, part of the conversation, seeing where the regulations are heading. Lehman has always been a visionary. This is a big deal as well, and just great to help settle a lot of the coming regulations as well. All right. Brett talked about Phase 4 task force as well. Let me just skim it here. So basically, optimizing Hedera's governance structure and preparing the Hedera network for its next phase of growth. He announced that he'll step down as the chair of Phase 4 in order to more actively participate in the discussion. And then Tom As will chair the task force, the Phase 4 task force moving forward as well. So again, seeing Hedera's governance structure and preparing Hedera for the next phase of growth. It just seems to be lining up pretty perfectly with regulations, with the bull run coming up as well. I do believe still that Hedera is primed and ready, building those foundations for what is yet to come. So this has been the July Hedera Governing Council minutes. So it looks like we won't be touching on any of the Hedera daily news here today because it'll mainly just be the Governing Council minutes. All right, so Thrive Hedera, before we get into the interviews and the interview news, and of course the technical analysis. We'll keep them pretty brief because I haven't really seen anything too crazy change on any of the technicals. So Thrive again, we still have not gotten, I think we're coming up on 2 weeks now, I believe, since they came out. We still have not gotten any Hedera wallet support yet, which ideally we would have gotten it already, but a lot of people are just kind of waiting on the sidelines. But here's a massive caveat to something I'm looking forward to and looking for. Since even if we did, right, even if day one we had the wallet working and everything was integrated and it made sense and the way that this was supposed to go about made sense, even if all that was true, I'd still be not very interested personally in Thrive because you are only allowed to do one contribution per season. And again, this is my personal take. You're more than welcome to disagree with it. That's totally fine. You're able to do various interviews if you're a Spaces host. You can write articles, threads, blogs. There's a few other ways to contribute as well. You can create a little video content as well. But you're only able to do it once per season, and each season is 3 months long. And so arguably a lot of content creators, maybe they would submit it once. Like I know I would at least just to make something extra on the side. But how much it is, I think it's like $100 for like a space. If you meet the criteria once every 3 months, but like it's not going to really change anything for me. Like I'm not going to make a shift really on anything to do that. And then for articles or any of that, it's like $5, $20 for some stuff. So like a lot of these content creators or people that are just already creating content, yeah, maybe they'll submit once, but like it's not going to be anything where they like really are taking it too seriously from what I could tell. If you're a content creator and that's a lot of money for you and you feel like that would change things, then go for it, right? But again, it's only going to be once every 3 months, which basically you can only do it 4 times a year. I think that's a bit low, especially if they are allocating 6 million H bars. Now, I did ask some questions. I've not got answers to all of them. In their last space, they hosted a space earlier this week. I'm just going to be blunt. I listened to the whole thing at like 2 times speed. Literally all that was said over and over again was, we didn't have the wallet connect integrated. We're working on it. Like that was basically all that was said. That I think that's very unfortunate because they literally talked for like an hour. I'm not sure how that was the only thing that was covered. But where is the 6 million? How is the 6 million going to be distributed? Right? Is it going to be over one season? Is it 6 million the next 3 months coming up at the end of the year? Is it 6 million over a bunch of months? Right? Like none of that information is really clear. So if it is like 6 million over like a couple years, okay, well, it would make sense, right? That they would only do the contribution opportunity every 3 months. I guess that would make a lot of sense. If it is 6 million for this opportunity, then even if I did the math, even if 1,000, I think it was like 1,000 different creators submitted one contribution for every single contribution, it would still come out to under 6 million. So that, I mean, you're basically have to be expecting thousands of people to submit every single one of the contributions to use up the 6 million H bar. So just the math isn't adding up. I would love to have some more transparency on that and to hear more. And of course, if you genuinely want, I'm speaking directly at the foundation, the people involved at Thrive. If you guys are listening, I mean, people that are creating content genuinely that have been showing up every single day, especially the ones that I've been doing for free, like they want to be rewarded. They want to be heard, right? They want to be supported. And if the foundation is working on this and they are listening to retail, I do believe allowing more than one contribution per season is going to be a game changer for a lot of the creators here. And guess what? The people that are not creating content, I think a lot more would show up and create a lot more content. And just seeing that, and I'm not going to talk about how much they should be rewarded. That's something if the community really wants to be a part of it and see that, I think we can see, oh, maybe we should increase the rewards, right? But right now, and I went and looked at the Discord, I went and asked questions. Pretty much no one's contributed anything because guess what? You can't, because it's Hedera. I went and did it myself. I set up a MetaMask and I went and connected. But if you're not connected with Hedera, most people are not going to go over there and try it. Just being super blunt about that. So again, if you're at the foundation or you're at Thrive and you're listening, I mean, I'm just being incredibly honest about that and transparent. We need more transparency on that. And yeah, I mean, that's my thoughts. That's my speculation on what's going on. And if you're looking for ways to improve it and ways to make it better, well, those are my thoughts on it. All right, you guys, we're going to start wrapping up the show here. I will cover the technical analysis after our next announcement here. So we have Skelly Bets here on the show. What's up, brother? All right, so our interview for tomorrow is Skelly Bets. Yep, you guys probably guessed it. Well, here it is. I'm very much looking forward to this interview. They launched, I think, about 2.5 to 3 weeks ago at this point. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing what they got going on. We're going to give you guys a rundown, a walkthrough of their use case, what they're building here on Hedera, what they've got cooking on after their recent sellout. So shout out to them on their sellout as well. I picked up a couple Skellies myself, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what they've been cooking under the hood. And then they went live. They are fully integrated with Hedera now as well. So I'm very much excited to really unpack what we got going on. So tomorrow, same place, same time, 5 p.m. EST, place to be in Web3. All right, we'll go check them out tomorrow. You guys can go shoot them a follow. All right. We got some technical analysis before we start winding the show down. I'm going to keep it brief because we are a bit over the time here. All right, so we are currently at the 47 level on the Fear and Greed Index. So let me pull up some of the other indicators. You guys can see what is going on. Let's see, where are we at? So we are dropping by the 24-hour mark. We're down at 46.5. You love to see it. That means a big move is coming. Anytime we're in the yellow and the neutral, it either signals a lot of downside or a lot of upside. So we're on the sentiment side of things. That's why a lot of people are pissed on the timeline. There's a lot of saltiness. I get it, right? The more that we see green, the more that we see yellow and red, the more we're going to see that. This is the sentiment aspect, the sentiment index of this space. You love to see it currently until we are euphoric, which again, when we are in euphoria, that's when I get concerned. Because the moment that everyone say we're going a lot higher, chances are we are going to go much, much lower. All right, let's pull up Bitcoin and see what's cooking here. All right, let's pull up the trading view, see what's going on here. All right, let's throw up some indicators. Let's see what Bitcoin has for us today. I don't really look at the indicators too much between shows. I like to kind of just stay up to date with what's going on and just kind of walk through it with you guys through the shows. Same thing, not much has changed. I haven't really seen anything negative. Again, hammer, typical hammer, usually signals a trend reversal. The blue and the orange are getting very, very close. We're closer now than we have been since July, getting closer by the day. Just got to wait and see. Arguably, we're going to have a cross at some point in September. If we have a cross down and the orange continues to drop further, the blue drops further, we are going to have a pullback down into this 40 range. We're going to have to wait and see for that. If the blue does cross above, chances are we will break through that 73K range and trend higher. Same thing with the RSI here. We're still well above the 50 level. Currently going a little bit under the average. This is a pretty major point. I've been saying this for some time now, a few months now. This is a major point. If we break it, we are going to see downside. Just no ifs, ands, or buts on that. And then, of course, we're going to have to wait another about 3, 6 to 9 months. Power of 3. You guys know how it goes. Every about 6 months on average, we do get across. So if we do get across September, that would put us about next summer, April, May, in that range for the 6-month timeline coming up for the next cross. And that would be marking basically the next Pico top. So we're very close to a major next shift, a paradigm shift in the market. We just have to be patient and continue to wait and see what's going on here in the markets as well. Skelly Bets, I see your comment there. Respect, brother. Looking forward to playing you in Ocho 1v1 tomorrow. Yeah, I got super lucky on the mint I'm really looking forward to just trying out some of the games as well and seeing what's going on over there. But yeah, I haven't played Ocho yet. I actually never played it. But I do have the Ocho Master, so I have to show that one off. I have it chilling in my wallet at the PFP, so whenever I open my wallet, I see them dancing over there. I think they look absolutely amazing. Shout out to the artist there as well. But yeah, looking forward to playing. And of course, those of you guys that are missing out on the HBARC use case over here as well. Here's the leaderboard, the daily leaderboard. So if you guys are not checking out what's going on, rewarding the creators, promoting the people that you like, that kind of stuff, feel free to go check it out. Shout out to everyone up on the leaderboard. I'll just give you guys a little shout out here on the show. Before we wrap up, you have H Barbers, Cantor, Obley, Jack Timothy, Rob, I believe that's Rob Allen, Danny, King Solomon, Hashpack, Milan, Mance, Brandon, Cosmedios, We the Mouth, there's me, Alpha Romero, Pautherium, Barbarian, Lorelei, H Bar Bull, and Dark H Bar. Shout out to everyone on the Bark leaderboard. If you guys have not checked out hbark.club, go check it out. We interviewed them last Friday. So if you missed our interview last Friday, all right, what are we on? Episode 246 today on Wednesday. 245 was Tuesday, 244. So if you guys go to my bio right now and you go to the highlights section of my profile and you scroll down to episode 243, we did interview the founder of the Barking Game platform. We unpacked how you get involved, how you get started on what is going on. And at the end of the season, so every season, he did say it's going to be about 4 or 5 weeks. The next season will end. This leaderboard will end on September 26th, coming up on about 28 days from now. Every single one of these points will be actually converted 1-to-1 to the HBARC token. So the more HBARC you're gifting out to your friends, the more tokens you're actually sending to them via Web2. And then once he has it all set up at the end of the season, you'll be able to claim tokens at the end of the season. So a very fun, very interactive and engaging way to reward essentially loyal and your friends at Air community members. So very interesting. I had a lot of fun doing that interview, and I'm very much looking forward to the interview tomorrow with none other than Scally Beth. All right, you guys. Well, I appreciate you guys tuning in here today, and I will catch you all tomorrow, 5 p.m. EST. Place to be in Web3. Much love, you guys. Peace, y'all. Massive shout out to everyone that tuned in here today. I can't see all of your amazing faces here in the live stream. I did see Skelly Bets, a couple of you guys tune in, share some comments in the live stream. But I did see Postmaster, Epic Collection, Jaguar, H Bar Car, Houdini, D-Man, Benny H Barbarian, Poncho, Floxbar, everyone else that came in and tuned in on the space. Shout out to you guys. Don't forget to like and retweet the show. And I will catch you all tomorrow, 5 p.m. EST. Place to be in Web3. Peace, y'all. Much love.